So hello everyone, I'm Gurleen and I have my voice automation, or I say voice agent, like agency. I make voice agents for like right now realtors and mortgage broker. So I was showing Savannah like a agent that I made that actually remembers the previous conversation, because what I felt like is currently the agents, like if you call them again, they don't remember who you are. So I came out with a way through make.com that remembers the previous conversation, and here's the demo. So
Okay, let's see.
Hello, Gurleen. Nipun here.
hello, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Gurleen. I'm so excited to connect with you again. Last time we spoke, you mentioned your new pet, David the horse. How's life been treating you and David lately?
Yeah, so right now what happened is like David ran away and I'm not able to find it.
Oh no, Gurleen. I'm so sorry to hear that David ran away. That must be really stressful and worrying for you. Can you tell me more about what happened? How did you lose him and what have you
Yeah, I
done so
was
far?
just like on a walk with him, and then he just saw another pretty horse and ran away.
Gotcha. It sounds like David was a bit of a free spirit, huh? So it seems like he got distracted by another horse and took off. That must have been really
Yeah.
frustrating.
I think I will just like call you later and we can talk more about it.
Gurleen, no worries at all. I totally understand. We can definitely pick up where we left off whenever you're ready. Take care of yourself
Okay.
and David.
Bye. So, like, I think I gave a demo last time and I showed that I bought a new pet horse, David, so he remembers the conversation. So, right now, it it takes my call, like the whatever we talked about, it makes a summary and it has uploaded that summary to my database. Like, right now, I'm using Go High Level. So, it I make a note about it, like, this person called and like, this is what you talked about last time. So, next time when I call it again, let's try this, like try to call it again. It will remember where we left off because it will pick up from the notes and it will remember where we left off last time. So
Hello, Gurleen. Nipun here.
hello, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for asking. I'm excited to connect with you again. I remember our last conversation about David, your pet horse. How are you feeling about David running away?
I'm still feeling sad. It ran away and hasn't came back.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, Gurleen. Losing a pet, even if it's temporary, can be really tough. It sounds like David was quite the free spirit.
Okay, bye
What
bye.
do you
So you get the gist of it, right? Like in customer service, what we can use it like. So what I'm using it if my client is as some kind of customer support agent, right? And if they have some questions, or if they have like if I've raised like a service ticket, right? And if they want to call again, the agent will be able to remember what they talked about last time and will be able to follow up the conversation, or if there's any update that happened.
Yeah, really, really great what you did. Do you want to show us how you did it?
Yeah, I'll show that to you. Just okay. So this is like the scenario that I made in make.com. So firstly, I have this webhook. Wait, let me also show you my Vapi, like first, because we have to also go to Vapi. Let's start from here. Okay, so I'll start from here. So to make this work like on an inbound agent, what you have to do is like make sure the number is the phone number that you're using is not connected to any agent. So this way, what will happen is if you go to your organization, and here you can put in the server URL. So what will happen if someone tries to contact that number, that will send like a retrieve agent request into your the server URL. That could be your Zapier or Make. And here and Make, this webhook, it receives that server URL and then like I have given it in a route, like put a router here so that if it's someone who's calling for the first time, it creates a contact, and this way it creates a contact so that next time it knows like who's calling. If that person has already called, it search it like goes to go high level. It search for that contact, like it searches the contact using the number that comes from the like here the webhook, and then from there it goes to the next module, which is it goes to go high level. It gets the notes, like it from search contacts you get this contact ID, and with that contact ID you can like get the other information about the notes. And then when you get that information, you can populate that on the webhook response. The webhook response is my assistant. So this is the assistant I'm using. And in the system prompt here, like I'm using the response from the previous module and I'm putting it here.
Okay.
So like it's in the body, like data data nodes, data nodes, data nodes. This is how like it knows like what it talked about during the last conversation. And after this call ends, like it sends like a end of call request to this server, and this server is connected to another integration, and that integration is just like it receives the data, it receives the end of call reports. From there, like because in end of call reports there are like 3-4 reports is sent, so it filters out the reports that has the transcript, and then the report that has the transcript, it goes to like search contact on my high level, and then it makes a post request and post that note on for that contact ID. So it's a very simple scenario that I have made that, and the next time when the same, like when this person calls again, like the same things will happen. So they will call the number from Vapi, it will use retrieve assistant, it will go to this webhook, and from there it will search the contact on go high level, and from the contact it will get their contact ID, and then it will use the HTTP request to get the notes for that contact ID.
Can you?
And then I populate the response, the webhook response with like whatever we talked about last time.
Yeah. Cool. Can you show me like how it looks like in Go High Level?
Yeah. So here, like as you can see in my Go High Level, if you go to the notes section, whatever we talked about last time, like it's wait, what is it? Not here. Here notes. Yeah. So if you go to the notes section, whatever we talked about last time is just showing here that like it's just showing the summary that in this conversation, like what happened, and the previous discussion about Gurleen's pet horse, David who had ran away, living feeling sad, and you can see all the conversations that have happened here. And but the thing is, it will only pick up like how I have set up the system. It will only pick up the last 3 notes and put that into the system prompt. Because what happens is if I put like too much of data into the system prompt, it will increase the cost, and eventually that cost will build up, and it will cost like close to like 50 cents, even $1 for a minute, and you don't want that. And I also don't want it to remember the exact conversation of what happens, because that's not very human like. I only want it to remember like the summary of what happened last time. Like if you spoke for 5 minutes, right? Like what is a brief thing like that you can summarize in a paragraph, and that's what it remembers.
And how did you instruct it to just take the last 3 notes?
So in the integration, you can see that here, like with my variable, it has a bracket. So what it will do is like from this request will get, I'll show you a thing here. If you go to history and if you see the execution, this will show that from here it's getting everything. So like the output is the notes, and it's getting all the notes, note 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are all the notes that I have made till now, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But here in the body, it will only mention the last three notes. And how I did this is just like when you set up a variable, right? Like it will show up like here. If you're trying to put another variable, it will say here data notes, and then notes. There's a bracket here. So the bracket is in which you can put like the note that you want to put in. So I put in the bracket. I put 1, 2, and 3. So only the last three notes that are updated on the go high level will come here.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you talk with it again, the 1, 2, 3, like it changes because it will like it will just go down. The last note you made, so 1 will become 2, 2 will become 3,
Mm-hmm. That's
and then
really
yeah, the
smart.
new note will be
Cool.
1.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. And did you use any filters in between? No, you didn't. Okay.
The only filter I used is at the like in this module there's no filter. In like the end of call report, because like it sends like 3 4 reports. One is like a status update, one is when the call ended, but I don't want that. I only want the end of call report, right? On the same server. So here I have set up this filter. That means like if this webhook has a transcript, then the module will like the scenario will work. If it doesn't have a transcript, then the scenario won't work.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I routed up to Gmail, so that this is I did because like if someone calls, so I will receive a email through Gmail that someone has called and this is the call summary and this is the transcript. So this way I can also send the end of call report to myself through Gmail. But right now disconnected that.
Okay. And in the previous scenario, you had also an ignore module. Can you
Yeah.
explain that again?
So basically, the ignore module is for if I don't put ignore module right now, there's no response, right? If there's a webhook, there needs to be a response. This module doesn't have a response. So it just like it updates the contact, but it shows like an error. So that it doesn't show error, I just like put an ignore module.
Okay.
So if it's create a new contact, it will like it won't show an error that there's no response or something like that. So I just put ignore, so it doesn't like send me an email that this it failed, or it like makes sends you an email when anything execution fails. So that's the only reason. So that if that doesn't get a response, it's fine. Just ignore it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks simple, but there is a lot of thought behind it, I guess.
Yeah, I think like from what I figured out is that it's about being creative, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not about like how good you are at the code or how bad you are. It's just that you have to be creative, like figure out a problem and then find some creative solutions towards it.
And also a lot of testing, because like you don't
Yeah.
get it at once. You need a lot of rounds, testing rounds, to get to this
Exactly.
point.
Because with these things, there's no YouTube videos that you can watch. There's no guides online that you can watch, right?
Yeah.
All you have is like your brain. You're getting creative. You want to test it, and see if it works, right? And it just like works somehow. And I think it's still a fairly simple like a scenario. It's not very complicated.
And for the last part, can you also show the prompt in Vapi for this, so we know?
Okay. So this is the prompt that I'm using.
Yeah, right.
Like this is just a response to the webhook. So like webhook, like this webhook, it receives like a retrieve assistant like reverse response function, and this is the response. So basically, I use like the Vapi API reference to make this. And then like this is the role, this is like the system prompt, like what does AI life coach, and then specialize in providing guidance, like whatever, like because this the main feature is if you want to use it for customer service, if you already have a customer service, right? What matters is here in the end you can put like the client information, which is the name that you can get from the go high level, the information you gathered from the client during previous call about the client, like name, last call conversation summary, second last call conversation summary, third last call conversation summary, and then just give it a little bit instructions, like sometimes because it hallucinates, it says stuff that it shouldn't say. You just have to be strict and decrease the temperature. And this is the only function, like it doesn't have any other functions. It just have a server URL through which it sends the end of call report. And then this is the first message, hello, and then the first name, which is a variable upon here.
And is this system already in use, or is it just like
this is just like right now I'm making it for a client, like a customer service bot for his like e-commerce store, that it will be able to like know about the customer and then generate a ticket, and then if customer calls again it can tell them like how it has been, because the client will be able to update the ticket of like anything that has happened, right? So with this one, I just made to test it out, just like for fun and gags. I just like this was the first scenario I made just to test it out, and I think it's just good. It is a fairly simple, but still a little complicated. Like you have to be a little creative, and the database can be anything. Right now, I'm using Go High Level because I want to try it, see what the hype is about. But you can use like any CRM, any database. It can be even an Excel sheet. Like you can use, instead of Go High Level, use Excel sheet, and then you can create a different, like instead of creating notes, a cell that has notes on it, or like any database that you have.
Cool. That's really great because a lot of people were wondering about this, and I think you found a really good solution to that. And yeah, are you also working on some other projects related to voice AI?
So currently, I'm helping realtors, as I mentioned before, like set up a simple inbound assistant, like something like, and also outbound assistant, because like from what I figured out is that for realtors, right, like as soon as they get a lead, it's better to call them within like 15-20 minutes so that the lead stays warm. So for what I'm doing for that is like if someone goes to their website and they fills out a form, I receive a webhook here that someone has filled a form, and that triggers an agent. So that agent knows their name because they have filled their form, it knows their number and everything like that, and then it calls them, and then it gathers all the information from them, like try to nurture the lead, like where they're looking to buy the property, what is their budget, are they in touch with a mortgage broker or a bank, and get all these information, and then send that information to the realtor, and also book an appointment for the client with the realtor. This way, within the 15 minutes of them like filling the form online, they already have they are like they already have a appointment set up. And other use cases that a lot of people, they lose potentially thousands of dollars in revenue because they couldn't pick up phones. But if there's an agent that is there 24/7 picking up the phone, and then like possibly booking an appointment, I think that's good for them and their business.
Okay, cool. And also, are you going to share more projects on your YouTube account? Like, what's your plans and so on?
Yeah, so right currently my plan is to make like different things with voice agents, because see the possibilities are endless, and if you are creative enough, like you can, even with Vapi, you can and make like only these two tools, you can make a lot of stuff. So the next project, like a side fun project I'm thinking of is making AI tour guide for museums, something like that. So that if you're in a museum and you want to know about the painting, there's a QR code, you scan it, or there's a number, you call it, right? And then you can talk with like an AI tour guide, which can be anyone. Like you can clone a voice of Morgan Freeman, and then you can ask him questions about the painting, like when was it painted, what's the significance behind it, who was the painter, things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. If it's better that way, like you know about the painting. Because for me, I feel like if I know more things about the art, right, then it's better. I don't know, like something like that.
Yeah, you have really cool ideas. I'm excited to see what's next for you. Yeah. Do you have anything else to share?
Like just wanted to show you and this, and I see like right now voice AI will be doing a lot of wonders. Possibly right now, this is just the starting.
Yeah.
And I think in future, like in another year or so, this will get so better that we might not even need like real people. When the AI will be able, right now it can do multitask, right? But then the models will be better, and I think it's better right now is a good point if you guys are watching to jump into this, start making stuff so that you're prepared for that time, and possibly sell it to people,
Yeah.
or like use it for your own business, because like this technology is not going anywhere. So either you have to adapt it.
And do you want to also talk about like what kind of services you offer in this space?
Yeah, okay. So currently in this space, like the services I'm offering is like making voice agents for businesses. Any business, I would say. Right now, my main focus is like e-commerce, real estate, and mortgage brokers. And I also done one project for like a pest company. Because if you have a business that requires a customer service agent working 24/7 that can get the information from the client and possibly book an appointment, you can come to me, and I can possibly get that set up for you. And then also, if you want, we can also make the agent remember the previous conversation, like the with the same steps that I showed you in this video.